was a pain in the ass. I guess basically I've been at war for the last 5 months of my life. And it isn't any type of war or battlefield that you know about. And even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. But in some ways, I kind of brought it on myself. But I've been off the battlefield for coming on 3 days now. And this is the first night that I could walk home from the store in the dark and not have to worry about getting attacked, shot at, or stabbed. So that was really a good feeling that I hadn't had in a long time. Nobody's after me here. Nobody's chasing me. So before I come here, how do they reward me? They check all my luggage for bomb making materials or bombs or whatever. They check me for residue of bomb materials and all that stuff. That's my reward for working the most dangerous job there is for years. That's how I get rewarded. What they don't realize is, regardless of whether they wanted to test me for that stuff, if I wanted to get into that, I mean, I could blow a good half this planet apart if I really wanted to. But the world's doing a good job of getting rid of itself, and I don't need to help it out anymore, if you know what I'm talking about. The planet will do that to itself. It's inevitable. Why am I going to even think about doing it? You know? Seriously. I don't care. I think it's just kind of a disgrace when they want to check my shit out. And it's been ongoing, you know. For years. And then my friends. This one friend of mine, he went through chemotherapy for 1.5 years of his life. Most people just, they give up and they die long before that. I went through 1 year of chemo myself. I've been through 1.5 years, but I did a straight shot year, and then I did a half year before that. And there's no torture like that. And then I've been tortured in every way, shape, and form and all that stuff. I mean, I shouldn't be talking sense. My sentences, what I'm saying out of my mouth should not make sense at all from what I've been through. I guess I was lucky. I don't know, I was born tough. I don't know, I'm alive. I should have been dead a lot of times. Many times. You get an ego about it. You think, well, I must have some special purpose, but I'm not seeing it. But my friend, I watched him go through a year and a half. Well, I didn't watch him the whole time, but I talked to him about 2 weeks before he finally died. And about a week before he died, maybe 10 days, he was making sense and sounding pretty strong. Not sounding like he wanted to give up. And he was really happy about this new chemo that was going to come out. And his insurance, he was going to get approved for his insurance that he could get this new chemo. I don't know what they did to him. But after that, I think they just gave him the death shot. Tried to take him out. So then he wound up in the hospital or hospice. And I wasn't allowed to see him or his, I'm just a friend, but his best friend or whatever wasn't allowed to see him. From what I understand, he wasn't getting an IV, he wasn't getting fluids, he wasn't getting painkillers. His family just flat out wanted him dead. For the money. That was the hardest thing for me to see. There wasn't anything I could really do about it. It wasn't my business. Maybe it was, I don't know. And then you always think shoulda, woulda, coulda when it's too late. Maybe I could have saved that guy from getting killed by his own family. But I didn't really figure out that's what they were trying to do until it was too late. Until he was too far gone. Maybe. But he went through a year and a half of chemo first. So they just say, well, it's just nature taking its course, but But they have $3 million more. I guess I could have got in on that kick too if I really wanted to. Then I would have had to fight them, but I might have saved his life. And what was left of it. But that's 4,000 miles away now for me. Or more. I got out in time. I was beaten up pretty bad. I mean, I had my own things going on. "5 months on the road in a war. You start forgetting where you put things, where they are, what day it is, what time you wake up. It just becomes a big blur. Some days you're really happy to be alive, and other days, you just kind of exist. But I got out alive again. It's really hard to watch that, though. So I come over here. I don't want anything to do with my family. And I guess they don't want all that much to do with me. Over there. So I don't really have anybody to care for me when I get old and I get sick, or at least now. Get older, you get weak. Your will to fight goes away. I mean, it'll come back, but right now I've just been beaten so senseless. I mean, my eyes right now look a lot better than they did 3 days ago. So I get some downtime, I get some time to relax. Just minor stuff going on, nothing major. That I know of now, but at least, I got to walk home. And I'm going to get some help here where I'm at, and I'm able to get back on my feet again. But if I stayed there, they would just do to me like they do to the others. And I know that. And I'm not going back anymore. That's it. Can't get these there. Not yet. Maybe someday. The very first television commercial, well, not the very first television commercial, but the very first television commercial I ever did for one of these, I never knew what they were. It's even got Braille on it, so blind people know what it is. Isn't that nice? Isn't that frickin' nice? Even the blind people can know what this is. God, I haven't had one of these in probably 5 years. Or more, maybe 5 or 6 years. But the place where I bought this is in a country where I can walk home in the total dark, and I don't have to get worried about getting attacked by anybody when I'm going home. And I know I'm going to make it there. That I'm safe. It's priceless. But I'm just enjoying her now and relaxing. I'm glad that I made it back. Beat up pretty bad, but I'll pull out of it. Beat up in about every way it can be. Maybe even physically a bit too. I got one real friend here. One. If it wasn't for that, I don't know where I'd be. I mean, I'd be here, but I don't know in what way. Probably in a lot worse way than I am now. No, I'm just not going back anymore. I guess I've been lucky enough to get to see a good part of the world. I can't say I've been to every country and everywhere and everything on the planet, but I've seen enough and talked to enough people over the years. I mean, we're talking climate, we're talking medical care, we're talking safety factors, we're talking pollution, whatever. Other variables and other things that I can't really discuss, but this is a good spot on the planet right now. I guess that could change. Got one kid that I know of that I raise. Maybe more, but do you think he'd take care of me in the last part of my life? No. part of that was being brainwashed by a mom that just, it is what it is. I can blame her, but I put myself in that situation. I got into that without thinking it through. I was young. Then there's variables too, like cocaine and drugs. She got on that she couldn't control. I don't think she ever got off. I guess I always considered myself lucky. I've taken the most addictive crap that they have on this planet. I mean, everything. And I've been able to get back off it. I don't know if you call it willpower. I don't know if you call it luck. Most of the stuff I've been on puts people in their grave sooner or later. Somehow I can just enjoy it and get right back off of it when I want to. Now the booze, I must admit, because of my genetics in that department, that was tough, but I was always able to get back off of that too. So I guess I'm lucky, I don't know. But all the horrible abuse and torture that I suffered, I guess I was able to get out of that and get off that too. And get out of that. I never really followed the herd. Never really believed the stuff they were teaching me or the stuff that was on the news or what I was reading in the books. I mean, sure, some of that stuff was valuable information, but I never bought it all hook, line, and sinker, any of it. I was just my own me. And I was just kind of born that way. A lot of people, they're molded by their parents or their society or whatever, and they're like, they don't question it or challenge it, and that's part of their brain, how they think, how they function, and that just never really took hold. But I had to go through, I had to work through a lot of stuff, trust me. I had to work through a lot of stuff. It took a lot of work to work through that. But a lot of people, when you hear them talk, you can hear their mom talking or their grandpa or their uncle or the news or the TV show they saw or somebody they're repeating, some movie star or somebody else. Not really what's underneath all that. And they just live a whole life. They don't have a freaking clue of what they really are. I'm just glad I got a chance to see what I got to see. But I could have really done without a lot of the abuse and the torture I had put on me. I just, I guess that's just, I didn't ask to be born into any of that stuff. Or the physical traumas, the broken bones and the cancer, and torture. But the friend has a request from me. And it's not anything illegal. Not anything immoral. It's not a money scam. It's not any of that stuff. It's just a simple request. And I guess I'm probably going to do it. The only friend I really got. Left. I don't know, maybe there'll be more, but you have these people, you know them 20 and 30 years. They turn on you. I mean, I've had ones that I've known shorter that have turned on me, and it's almost cost me my life a few times. Not that type of thing, but just people that turn on you. And like, I could see if I was like a really vindictive, like con artist or scam artist, or somebody that was trying to pull something over on somebody, but when they just turn on you for maybe they're brainwashed by somebody else, or I don't know. I mean, it's like if they turn on you because it's something you did, that you can kind of understand why they would, but, or didn't want to do, but so I'll do this last request for the friend, this other friend, one of the few ones I still got. And I guess you never know how long that'll be either, you know. I'm just really lucky to be alive. Every day is a gift on this planet. Every frickin' day. We never know when that day will be the last. It's the big myth. The lie. Well, if we do this, we get that. We play all our cards right. A friend of mine that had cancer for the last year and a half of his life. Never smoked. Never drank. I mean, maybe he smoked for a year. Out of 65 years, maybe one of those smoking. I mean, he never did the obvious no's. Exercised, fit, all that stuff, you know. I guess when I was young, I was new. I mean, they weren't fooling me. I don't know, about 3 or 4, I realized no matter what I did, no matter how much money I made, no matter what I frickin' did on this planet, whether I had 50 people in my funeral or like 5 when I'm carrying my friend's casket, his pine box, to his grave and throwing dirt on it. I just knew it was always going to end that way, regardless of what you do here, you know. I guess that's the bottom line, really. Can't really buy your way out of it, no matter how many people you step on or scam or rob or don't rob or I guess it's if, you know, one can just enjoy the journey, no matter how horrible and torturous it is, which it will be. Enjoying all of that. I guess it means you're alive. You're feeling. You're breathing. You're experiencing. I guess if you decide to be happy with all that for what it is, That's a wise choice. Really doesn't frickin' matter. If you can just take it all in and enjoy it every day, why it's still there. Because you know it's not going to be. It's guaranteed. I knew that since I was young. Somehow I just don't think it's fair, though, with this. My friend that I helped carry up the hill. And the words that were said over him just. And I was like told to keep my mouth shut about what I knew about the guy. Just because it wasn't. It wasn't right. Or it wasn't. And then having somebody say that doesn't even barely know how to speak, trying to talk about what the way things are in this life, it's kind of sad. I guess I'll just relax. My new country.